Hey everyone, welcome to our channel. Today we're about to uncover the shocking secrets of Tom. But Laura wasn't impressed with Tom as she found that he was under investigation for bribery. Now he's been suspended, but Bill believes Tom is a good guy. He called Tom over so they could team up and fill him in on the situation. 6 recruits, 3 back to base, 2 survived, 1 in coma. The other 3's status is still unknown. And Black Guy, the instructor, is missing too. Tom can't believe it, his former trainer. However, Black Guy has a reputation as a drill sergeant from hell, so it's no surprise many recruits feel discontent. Even Tom, no exception. As base commander, Bill must swiftly figure out training incidents under superior pressure. The 2 survivors will be transferred in 12 hours, and the injured recruit, Kendall, is actually the commandant's kid. He doesn't want to be clueless come handover time. Bill hopes Tom and Laura will join forces to investigate, and he secretly hints to Tom that a mysterious organization might also be involved. However, during the next round of questioning, there were discrepancies in the survivors' testimonies. Tom first found Dunbar. He moved Dunbar from the interrogation room to the lounge, chatting like comrades. With charm and ease, Dunbar finally spoke up. Unfortunately, Tom learned from Dunbar the others were dead, and it seemed linked to Black Guy. One recruit named Parker frequently found himself in Black Guy's crosshairs since he followed orders and handed over his weapon. But then Black Guy turned the tables on him, asking, "Do you talk? Who said you could talk?" Clearly annoyed by Black Guy's antics, Parker didn't hold back, only to be swiftly taught a lesson. Though the others were not pleased, no one dared to speak up as Black Guy cranked up the intensity of the training. For 20 days in the jungle, we hiked 40 km with 80 LB packs, facing trials. Rest time was practically non-existent, and they were pushed to their limits. Parker was nearing his breaking point, but Black Guy thought he was holding. Instead of helping, Black Guy tossed Parker's pack off a cliff, making him start all over. Everyone knew the harsh training aimed to save lives in the battlefield, but Black Guy's methods felt downright unsettling. After 20 grueling days, the crew returned to base completely wiped out. Just when they thought they could take a breather, Black Guy had other plans. Dunbar, Kendall, Mueller, Nunes, Castro, drop your packs. You can rest for 2 minutes at East LZ. The recruits called out, including Parker, had to keep training. Even though they were unhappy about it, no one dared to resist. The brutal weather added to their unease. The group of 6 simply had to grit their teeth and soldier on. As for what happened next, Dunbar chose to keep tight-lipped. It seemed it wasn't going to be pleasant for him. So Tom and Laura decided to head to the hospital, where Kendall had finally regained consciousness. At first, Kendall pretended he was hard of hearing when they asked him questions, but Tom saw right through him. Since Kendall didn't know Dunbar's statement, he feared slipping up, and Tom called him out on it. Kendall, with his build resembling that of a bull, found himself with no alternative but to spill his story. His dad being the commandant meant Kendall had to watch himself, but his dad still caught on that he was a bit of a softy. The one thing dads couldn't stand was a scandal. However, Tom was curious about his friend's relation to the training, and Kendall said it was a special assignment by his dad. But as the drill sergeant incarnate, Black Guy despised folks like Kendall who had issues with their orientation. During training, Kendall thought Black Guy was eyeing him, and then it happened an ominous smile appeared on Black Guy's face. You can imagine, he seemed to have an agenda to ensure Kendall accidentally met his fate. Their mission was to pair off for shooting drills and prevent surprises, each equipped with a flare and radio. After completing their tasks, they'd need to regroup at a temporary base. As the teams moved into the jungle, the training mission targeting 20 objectives kicked off, but things took a turn for the worse. Kendall and Castro noticed a flare suddenly exploded nearby. They hurried over to inspect the situation and discovered that instructor Black Guy had already fallen and taken a permanent death nap. His back was clearly hit by a flare, and a fellow female trooper, Nunes, arrived at the scene. Nunes quickly asked what happened, but Castro and Kendall replied that Black Guy was already on the ground when they arrived. However, Parker, who was with Nunes, was nowhere to be found, raising Kestru's suspicions. Nunes didn't know where he had gone either. Their instructor's sudden death made them realize the trouble. They halted training to wait and be investigation. The three quickly made their way to the rendezvous point, where Dunbar and Mueller had already arrived and were waiting there after completing their tasks. Kestru delivered the tragic news regarding the death of Instructor Black Eye to them. Both were left dumbfounded, wondering who had murdered their instructor. No one seemed to know, and speculation ran wild. Given the circumstances, Parker was seen as the prime suspect, still missing.